3 months ago, this channel published a video called the Prepper Blacklist. Most people who watched it drove to Walmart the same day. Dozens of them came back in the comments to say they had walked past these items hundreds of times without knowing what they were for. Today, that list gets 9 more. None of these items are labeled survival gear. None of them are in the camping section. They are regular Walmart products sitting in plain sight in aisles you walk through every week. And they serve functions that most people will never discover until they need them and cannot find them. By then, it is too late to be shopping. 9. Zinc lozenges. Equate brand, $5.97 for a 25 count. Most preppers pack a general multivitamin and call it done. Here is the gap. Zinc is the micronutrient that drops fastest on a crisis diet heavy in rice, beans, and canned goods, and zinc deficiency hits the immune system first. Within 3 to 4 weeks of low zinc intake, the body's ability to fight respiratory infections drops measurably. In a scenario where you are under physical stress, sleeping irregularly, and eating from a stockpile without much variety, you are running exactly the conditions that deplete zinc fastest. 1 lozenge per day covers your requirement. They dissolve slowly and have a documented effect on reducing the duration of upper respiratory infections by up to 40% in peer-reviewed trials. Under $6. Aisle. Pharmacy. Most preppers do not have them. Most preppers will. 8. Petroleum jelly. Equate brand 13-ounce jar, $4.88. You know this as chapstick's bigger sibling. Here is what it actually does in a field scenario. A cotton ball, which costs $2 for 100 at Walmart, coated in petroleum jelly becomes one of the most reliable fire starters ever field tested. It burns for 5 to 8 minutes in wind and rain. It does not extinguish when wet. It lights with a single spark from a ferro rod. Compare that to matches in a damp environment or a lighter in cold temperatures, both of which fail when you need them most. The second application, petroleum jelly applied to a clean wound, creates an occlusive seal that blocks airborne bacteria and significantly reduces infection risk when you have no proper dressing available. $4.88, and it has been sitting in your medicine aisle your entire life. 7. Coffee filters, basket style 200 count, $2.97. Stop using these just for coffee. In a water procurement scenario, coffee filters are the first stage of a 3-stage purification process. They remove suspended sediment, organic matter, and large particles from murky water before you apply chemical treatment or run it through a filter. Chemical treatments like pool shock or iodine work significantly less efficiently in silty water. The particles bind to the disinfectant before it can do its job on bacteria. A coffee filter pre-stage eliminates that problem. Secondary application, field expedient wound dressing. Coffee filters are highly absorbent, non-adhesive to wounds, and cut easily into any shape. $2.97 for 200 of them. Most preppers throw one away every morning. But if you think that is surprising, wait until we get to number 5. 6. Borax 20 Mule Team, 4-pound box, $5.97, laundry aisle. Most people know this as a laundry booster. Here is what it does that nobody talks about. Borax is a natural insecticide. A thin line of dry borax along the base of your walls eliminates ant and cockroach infestations within days without chemical residue. In a food storage environment where you cannot afford pest contamination, this is critical. Secondary use. Added to your laundry water at 2 tablespoons per load, it reduces the amount of detergent required by roughly 50%, effectively doubling your detergent supply. Third application. It is a natural mold inhibitor. A light borax solution wiped on storage shelves prevents mold growth in humid environments where your food is stored. 1 box costs under $6 and covers 3 separate crisis functions. 5. Cheesecloth, 9 square yards, $4.97, kitchen aisle at Walmart. This is the item that appears in 0 prepper lists and should appear in all of them. Cheesecloth is an open-weave cotton fabric that functions as a multi-stage filtration material, a food processing tool, and an improvised medical supply. Stretched over a container and secured, it pre-filters water by removing large debris before chemical or mechanical treatment, a step that significantly improves the efficiency of everything downstream. Boiled for 5 minutes, it becomes a sterile wound dressing that is non-adhesive and highly absorbent. In food preservation scenarios, it strains stocks, presses soft cheeses, and wraps curing meats. The people who watched part 1 of this channel's Blacklist video already have pool shock and know how to purify water. This is the upgrade that makes that process work better. 4. Alum powder. Great Value or McCormick, baking aisle, $3.47. This is the item I have never seen on a single competitor's channel in this niche. Alum, potassium aluminum sulfate, has 3 crisis applications that cost under $4 combined. First, water clarification. 1 pinch of alum added to a bucket of turbid water causes suspended particles to clump together and sink within 30 minutes. The water above them is dramatically clearer and responds better to chemical disinfection. This is called coagulation, and it is the same process municipal water treatment plants use at industrial scale. Second, natural deodorant. The active ingredient in crystal deodorant stones is alum. Third, minor wound care. Alum has mild astringent and antimicrobial properties and has been used as a styptic to stop bleeding from small cuts for centuries. Barbers still use it, under $4 in your baking aisle. 3. Baking soda, 4-pound bag, $3.97 baking aisle. Not the small box, the bulk bag. Here's the application no prepper content covers. Baking soda is a Class B fire suppressant on a grease or oil fire, the most common cooking fire in any grid-down scenario where you are using open flame. Baking soda smothers the fire chemically. Water on a grease fire spreads it. Baking soda stops it. 1 open container near your cooking area is more useful than a standard water extinguisher for kitchen-class fires. Secondary applications, dental hygiene when toothpaste runs out, natural deodorant mixed with water, wound pH neutralization for acid or chemical burns, and a cleaning agent that does not require rinsing. 4 pounds for under $4. Comment below, is there a bulk bag of baking soda in your current prep kit? That is a real question and I want to know the answer. 2. Nitrile gloves, box of 100. Equate brand, $9.97, pharmacy aisle. This is the gap in almost every basic prep kit I have ever reviewed. People stock gauze, antiseptic, and bandages, and skip the one item that makes all of those things safe to use. Bare hand wound care in a grid-down scenario transmits infection in both directions. You contaminate the wound with whatever is on your hands, and you expose yourself to whatever is in the wound. A box of 100 nitrile gloves costs under $10 and gives you over 3 months of daily first aid capability with 2 gloves per use. Secondary applications, handling bleach or pool shock without skin exposure, food preservation without contamination risk, and barrier protection when handling any unknown chemical or substance. The people who already have pool shock from part 1 of this series need these to use it safely. 1. Emergency Mylar thermal blankets, 5-pack, $7.97, camping aisle or first aid section. Most people think these are a cold weather item and nothing more. They are not. 5 applications. First, emergency warmth. They reflect 90% of body heat back to the wearer. Second, signal device. A deployed Mylar blanket is visible to aircraft at over 5 miles in daylight. Third, solar water collection. Wrapped around a dark container, the reflective surface concentrates solar energy and significantly increases the rate of solar disinfection. Fourth, emergency shelter lining. Placed inside any improvised shelter, they eliminate the primary heat loss mechanism. Fifth, garden season extension. Laid over soil in early spring, they retain ground heat and extend your growing season by 2 to 4 weeks. That is 5 distinct survival applications for $1.59 per blanket. I have covered over 30 items across both Blacklist videos. This is the one I have never seen on another channel in this niche, under $8. Walmart camping aisle. Get them before you need them. The total for all 9 items on today's list is $49.14. Every one of them is at Walmart today. Before you close this video, tell me in the comments which one of these 9 you are actually going to buy. Not which one surprised you, which one are you going to pick up on your next Walmart run? I want a real answer and I read every single one. The complete Blacklist, Part 1 combined with today's 9 items is in the free checklist linked in the description. 18 items, aisle locations, exact prices. Print it before your next Walmart trip. This channel finds one angle every single day that the other channels are not covering. Tomorrow's video goes into a section of Walmart that nobody in this niche has touched yet. If you do not want to miss it, the channel is right there.